Volunteers, that's the biggest part of Scouts Honor. We cannot make it even a week without our volunteer base. We pride ourselves on rescuing dogs and cats that really don't have an out. We're kind of the last resort for them. Scouts Honor, we've been around for about 9.5 years now. We were founded strictly by volunteers. We operate solely by volunteers and the generosity of the public.
Scouts Honor has traditionally worked very closely with BARC, which is the Houston Pound. And though we continue to work with BARC, we are also working with several other organizations, the smaller, more volunteer-run animal shelters, such as Brazoria County, Pasadena Animal Control, Fort Bend Animal Control. We're really trying to work with these volunteers because we know how much they are giving. They struggle to get the word out that they have these animals, and so we are trying to help them in getting their animals more exposure and getting more space to their facilities.
One of the other ways that we've been able to be so successful for the last 9.5 years is by the generosity and the partnerships that we've formed with their local vets. They all get thorough exams. They make sure they're up to date on vaccinations and any other medical care that they need.
Scouts Honor dogs usually come in first to be evaluated, just good general physical exam, get the vitals, get the weight, find any obvious health problems.
The homeless pet population in our city is a huge problem. We've been working with Scouts Honor for probably about 4 years now, pulling them out of shelters where they were scheduled, unfortunately, for euthanasia, and allowing us to treat their ailments and get them on the road to recovery so they can find homes.
We also deal with boarding facilities because we don't have foster homes for every animal that we have in our program. Since we're typically operating at about 80 animals plus in our program, we have to have somewhere for the overflow to go. Dogtopia is one of them here in town, also Paws Pet Resort that we work very closely with.
I personally have been involved with Scouts Honor for 5 years. We work with them here, we get them socialized, we get them temperament tested with cats, dogs, people. We show them what love is all about and let them know that it's not so bad, that humans can be nice. And there's a lot of commitment behind the rescue dogs. But the love and the commitment from my employees, I have to commend them as well. It's not just me, it's a group effort, and we all do it.
I think that Scouts Honor Rescue is a wonderful group to work with because they really follow up on where the pets go, follow up on how the dog is doing. We all here as employees are foster failures for Scouts Honor and have kept our foster dogs and finally adopted them.
We have monthly adoption events. We bring out 40 to 50 of our dogs. They're out on display. Volunteers here that can tell you all about the dog. And then there's a pretty extensive application we ask to be filled out. And that goes for if you're wanting to adopt or if you're wanting to foster. We would review it and we would chat with them about what it is they're looking for. Sometimes people think they want one dog, but actually what they're telling us would suggest another dog that would be a better fit for them. Most memorable moment with Scouts Honor, hands down, is our rescue of Pier. Got a call, a little black lab. BARC, the city pound, had picked him up in the middle of the road and he had intentionally been set on fire. He was burned over 50% of his body. We immediately rushed him to Vergy. We've seen a lot of cruelty, but not like this. Vergy did what they needed to do to debride him and get him prepped, and then we had a volunteer take him at 5 a.m. the next morning to Texas A&M, where he was cared for and loved on, and nobody thought that he would survive. He did, and he's living a very large life now in North Carolina. In addition to watching him improve and was the outpour of support that we received. Scouts Honor and Pier were written up in several publications. We were on blogs all around the world. He has his own Facebook page. I've got to say, it was pretty amazing to see, $5 bills being sent to us in the mail. Everybody contributed, and we were able to cover his bill, and it didn't drain any of the resources that we had for Scouts Honor for the other animals, because it was basically Pier's fun. That was one of the most remarkable things I've seen of an animal, and the outpouring of support of the community and of people. It's a signal to people that there is good in the world still, and a dog's life or an animal life does matter, and it's important. And so that would be one of the most memorable but very hard things that we've been through.